Nev, we do a lot of work on coaching. Now between us, we've got over 30 years experience of coaching. I think it'd be useful if we can to kind of frame what we mean when we talk about coaching.
Well, I think the fascinating thing for me is the more we speak to people out in the marketplace, the more we see these varied approaches and varied descriptions when people associate with the word coaching. And I think the big one, a lot of people kind of pick something from sport. So they see sports coaches where they talk about somebody stood on the side of a pitch bellowing instructions at people. Now, from my perspective, you couldn't get any further away from what a real coach is. So from my perspective, and I know we kind of discuss this a lot, at New Results, the bit that we really focus on is what we'd call non-directive coaching. So it's that ability of a coach to ask rather than tell. And it's that little bit about unlocking a coachee's potential by helping them to think and reframe, and we call it getting outside the box, where they exist inside of the box with their issues, their goals, their opportunities, and they can't see beyond it. Coaching for me is very much about pulling people out of that box, allowing them to explore new opportunities, new ways of thinking, but it's definitely not about telling. And actually one of the big things people confuse is the difference between coaching and mentoring. And the fascinating bit for me is when you know how to mentor somebody from a position of experience, it's very much about tell, but coaching is very much about that unlocking, it's that asking, it's that exploring, and helping a coachee really come up with their own ideas and solutions.
That's a nice description of the two, and if I can just summarise that, it sounds like, and we both agree on this, and we have discussed this at length, the mentor then is the expert, and the relationship is critical between the mentor and the mentee. And the mentor as the expert shares that information, shares that knowledge that they've got, and they tell. There's a lot of tell involved. Whilst for the coach has to be an expert in coaching, and in particular really good at drawing out somebody's ideas, exploring that thought. And the key bit to that, it sounds like, is the questioning.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.